Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I'm going to start off with showing you the blanket that I have been working on for the last couple of days is complete. And I think it turned out very, very well. It's a personal blanket. This one is kind of small, so this would be perfect for a teen, a child. I'll show you a bigger one. So it's completed. Woohoo! Colors turned out good. This one is made with leftovers from a project. So I usually go out and buy yarn. And when I buy yarn, I get 7 ounces. What I find out is this color here, your plain colors, the brand I get, the plain colors come in 7 ounces. And when you get the multicolor skein like this, it comes in 5 ounces. And I usually get about 5 or 6. So I do have leftovers until I make something this big. This one's bigger. Now this one I made a couple of weeks ago, and it's much bigger. You can tell the difference in the length. So my next one might be this big. And is this long. And I think my husband has 2. I have 2. I have one I'm sitting on in my chair with just 3. I have 1 packaged up. That's 2, 4, 6, 7. One's upstairs in the closet. 8. I probably have about 9 or 10 of them running around here. So this one I've claimed. So this is the one I sleep in every night. This one will get packaged up and we'll figure out what we're going to do with it. It might get gifted. It might get sold. And I started on a neck warmer. And right now I'm starting this off in a beautiful brown. And a neck warmer is what I do with the last. If I have some yarn after a big project like this one, I will make, some call it a scarf, I call it a neck warmer. Because it's not big enough to wrap around your neck. This one is the size. I'll make different sizes. I do not measure. I just create. And how it turns out will determine at the end. Woohoo! There you go. Because, like anything else, one thing that's going to be constant is there are going to be 4 seasons in Georgia, and there will come a time where you will need it. There you go. And it can be worn many, many ways, but this is a neck warmer, not a scarf. So that's what I'm in the process of making again. And this one I might claim. We'll see. So, how has everybody been? How has your day been today? Have you taken time out for yourself? Welcome back to Come Knit With Me. And the goal of this channel is to make sure you are taking care of yourself. And through everything, your to-do list, you are part of your to-do list. You know, a lot of times we get so busy taking care of everybody else and everything else and everybody else's thing else that we never take care of ourselves. We don't. We take care of the house, we clean, we do groceries. We make sure all meals are fixed, lunch, breakfast, dinner. Let's put it in order. Sorry, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. We make sure the husband's taken care of, all the children, the pets. Oh, and if you're a career woman, you gotta work. And right now with COVID-19, a lot of us are working from home. So, and the kids, it's summertime now, so when school closed, they never went back. So your new norm is working from home with the kids there. Fun. So, this channel is all about taking care of you, slowing it down, and having some me time. When's the last time you had some me time? And believe it or not, that time should be done every single day. Oh, I don't have enough time for that. You have to make time. Your health, mentally and physically, is very important to keep everything going in the household. And if you do not take care of yourself, who's going to take care of all of the things on your to-do list? Whether it's in the morning, whether it's at noon, whether it's at night, you need to have a specific time where you get quiet. Where you sit back and you either reflect, me time will look different for everyone. This is what my quiet time looks like. Me and my needles. I can do this for hours. And I find, which is amazing, when I'm creating with my needles, I'm not thinking about anything negative. I'm not thinking about anything bad. I'm not thinking about what's going on in the world. I'm so busy creating that this is the time that I can just take a breath. Stop and take a breath. When do you do that? For example, today. Well, I don't know what time you're watching this video, so let's say yesterday. The last 24-hour period. Did you take time out for you? Did you have a quiet moment? I remember when my kids were little, I used to have quiet time. I homeschooled my kids. So my kids were always home. You guys are going through the homeschool thing forced because of COVID. I chose to homeschool my children, so my kids were always home. And so it was very important to have quiet time. I called it quiet time, especially as they got older. When they were little, of course, they took naps. And my kids are about 5.5 years apart. So my oldest was 5 when my youngest was being born. So baby goes down for a nap. The youngest gets a book. because by the time she turned 5, she didn't want to go to sleep. So she gets a book. You can do whatever you want to do, but you're going to be quiet. And most of the time, I would get into my spot. I would go into my room, and I would shut my door, and I would be quiet. And we had quiet time. And when they were young, I always had a clock. There was some kind of clock because I was always teaching them how to tell time. So they knew that when I would get their play clock, or if I had a clock on the wall, you know, the play clock, I would teach them how to do time and then tell time. And then the clock on the wall, I would tell them, okay, when the big hand gets here, the little hand's here, and the big hand gets here, the quiet time's over. And any time they interrupted me during this time of quiet, I added more time to the clock. That means they could not talk to me. We're not playing. We're going to be quiet. Just like this. And it usually was 30 minutes or more. And like I said, if they interrupted me, I added to the time. That allowed me to exhale. That allowed me to regroup and refuel. You're no good if you're on empty. It's like a car. Car gets on empty, it will not run. We are the same way. If we are on empty, we don't run. We do not react well. We do not respond well. So instead of saying that I don't have time, you have got to be a priority. Because if you're sick, mentally, physically, or both, you're no good to your husband, your mate, your wife, your children, or yourself. If you do not take time out for you, you become a threat to society. I don't know if I told you what I'm making now. After completing that blanket, I'm making another neck warmer with brown, and I don't know what other color I'm going to add. I'm thinking I'm going to just add one color. This brown is absolutely gorgeous, so I might just make a brown one right now. Make some solid ones. And I usually, excuse me, I usually while I'm working with the leftovers from a project, I'm thinking in my mind what's going to be the next project. And I'm kind of, you know what, I always work with multiple colors because I like color. But I think this time I'm going to go and get just one color. Maybe. We'll see. Because I do not have one color in my arsenal. I've never made one color. Everything I've made has been multiple colors. So I'm thinking about this time, I'm really thinking about doing one color, just working with one color. I think that would be kind of neat. So that means Hopefully I won't get bored in the project because I've never worked with one color. That means making a big blanket. That one's kind of small. It is. So that one could be used for an older child. The yellow one that I have in my lap, that's a larger one for adults. And like I said, I do not measure, I do not follow a pattern, I just create. And the first neck warmer actually was created, that was it from the project, that's it. So that's why it's that size, and the project stopped because I used every bit of yarn and that was it. I had no extra, so I'm thinking about it. I don't know, we'll see. Or I could do two colors and start off with one color like I'm doing now, then do the entire blanket another color, and then end it with the color I started with. I could do it that way, maybe. But I'm seriously thinking about making one color. That is something I've never done, and I think I want to tackle that. See how that feels in my spirit. Do I like it? I might like just working with multiple colors, but we'll see. Then I have to figure out what color, because usually where I go get the yarn is tons of yarn, but I only like one brand because it's acrylic, but it's a soft acrylic. I've worked with it. I usually work with acrylic because it's easy to take care of. You can wash it. You wash it separate. You do not wash it with everything, so it doesn't give other stuff fuzz on it, and it can be thrown in the dryer. But this brand that I'm using right now is actually a very soft acrylic, so everything turns out so soft. And once I wash them up, my husband loves his. I think he has two, and I have one. And it's perfect for like summertime. You don't need a heavy blanket, so you can just use one of these. And then in the winter months, I usually use two. And it's just perfect. It's enough to stay warm and cozy throughout the night. So this one I think I'm going to make this a solid brown. It's such a beautiful brown. I'm very impressed with the brown. So I think this one is going to be a solid brown neck warmer. So typically I am talking to you on video right now. But when I'm actually having quiet time, I may have the TV's usually on, and it's YouTube. And right now, my topic of choice is van life and RV life. I think I'm meant to be a nomad. I really do. It so resonates with me. It's like, you know, living off the grid, away from people. Oh my gosh, amazing. And then I wonder, you know, how it feels, because we're so used to being around people, to actually park your RV in the middle of nowhere, just you and the silence of the world, you and nature. That probably would I would have to get used to that, because that's not something I'm used to. But it's something I would love to try out. Because the only way to know if it really is meant for me to do that is to try it out. And I either like it or I don't. So what do you do? I have an assignment for you. Your assignment is to start adding yourself some time every day. I'm not going to say twice a day or 3 times a day. Every day I want you to take out some time for yourself, at least 30 minutes. You need to block a time for a minimum of 30 minutes. And during that time, you're going to get in a quiet spot. You can meditate. You can pray. For all my knitters and crocheters and needlepoint the goal is to quiet your mind. Just be quiet. No talking, no chores, no cleaning, no washing clothes. Just get in a comfy chair or comfy spot, whether it be on the floor, on your bed, in a chair. It could be outside, it could be inside, it could be with a cup of tea. And you could absolutely do nothing, but if you're outside, listen to the birds. But it's the time for you to inhale and exhale. When I'm not on video, when I'm not making a YouTube video, I'm literally sitting here in total silence. Well, not total silence. Usually have the TV on. Like I said, with a YouTube video about van life or RV living. But I'm by myself. I have a topic on TV that's neither negative, depressing, or weird. I'm not talking to anyone. And it's a time and a space where I can just do what I want to do very peacefully. So remember your homework assignment, whether you just sit in a chair with a cup of tea and savor every sip for 30 minutes. Maybe you want to get in your recliner and recline, close your eyes, and take a short nap for 30 minutes. You might want to read your Bible. You might want to pray for 30 minutes. This is not a time for activity. That will come. But the first step is to learn to just squeeze yourself in a block of time every day, whether it's morning, noon, or night. Because for those of you out there that don't do that, this is going to be challenging and it's going to be something you have to work at. Whether it be morning, noon, or night, for those of us that already do that, continue. And your alone time or your me time can also look like exercise, walking, yoga, painting, anything that you do for you to help you get your mind off of the regular rat race hamster wheel. Any of you guys have a hamster or a gerbil or a mouse or a rat for a pet? You can buy a wheel at the pet store. And you can put them on the wheel so when they're in their cage, they can get exercise. And we have a little hamster gerbil. They're about that big. They're little. They get in the wheel and they go around and around and around and around, and they fall off and they get back on it and they go around and around and around and around. And that's what our life has been like. It's a routine, every day, the same old thing, day in and day out, month after month, week after day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And we get into such a rut. And 99% of the time, we women do not put ourselves within that rut. We don't. We're so busy taking care of everything and everyone else, we never take care of ourselves. And yes, I do fall asleep with my needles in my hand. My prayer is my stitches don't fall off my needle. Then I have to start the project all over, which has had happen. So you got your homework assignment for those of you that do not take time out for yourself every day. You're going to start doing that. What that looks like is different from everyone. It could be quiet time, a meditation type thing. It could be a nap type thing. Or maybe you relax by walking, exercising, yoga, Pilates. Whatever you do during this time is up to you, but it does not include anyone but you. No kids, no pets, no husband, no partner, no boyfriend, no girlfriend, no wife. It's you and you alone. And what you do to relax is up to you. And sometimes mine is walking. Sometimes mine is playing with my house plants or going outside and playing with my outdoor plants. I have about 10 in the house and about 12 to 15 outside. And the ones in the house, I'm actually in the process of naming. Don't judge me. How many of you guys name your house plants? Right now I have a Hazel, a Daniel, a Chloe, and a Pickles. One of these days I'll introduce them to you guys, my YouTube friends. So I'm getting ready to sign off for right now. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to hit that notification so you'll know, bell so you'll know that when a new video comes out. And I'll talk to you guys on the next video.